This is an article that just came out on November 8th, 2017, Tri-State homepage.com. A community in pain. The opioid problem is growing. I'm going to go ahead and play this video.
Here at Central Dispatch, these are the people who receive those calls first. This is where the process of help begins. The people who take those calls of human suffering, they are the first comforters in many cases, in some cases the last hope for help before a situation turns tragic.
911.
A son had OD'd and an ambulance over here.
Okay, what did he take?
Probably heroin.
Do you want to live? Then you got to stop heroin.
Yes, ma'am. I think there's a girl here ODing on heroin.
She have a needle in her arm? Yes, she does.
These are actual 911 calls made to the Evansville Vanderburgh County Dispatch Center.
It just seems like they're getting more and more.
Dispatcher Carrie James is the person oftentimes at the other end of one of those calls for help.
Sometimes it's the mother who's hysterical, or sometimes it's the small child who's found mom or dad, so you have to listen to that and try to keep your emotions in check.
Wake up, come on.
This is body cam video from one of those runs obtained by Eyewitness News that shows what first responders in the tri-state face more and more.
We just medicine evidence in Narcan.
This call placed to 911 was for a woman down at Kids Kingdom, the children's playground on the Evansville riverfront.
Now when we get people down, the first thought through our minds usually, well, it could be heroin.
Wake up, come on. Sam, she preserved her eyes, are starting to open, but she's still out of it.
Officers Dylan Powers and Arnie Yunker were the first to arrive on the scene. We rode along with the officers as they described the heartbreak they faced that day.
Well, when we got there, she was laying on her back. Her face was blue. She wasn't breathing.
The officers say they knew this was a drug overdose and immediately administered 3 doses of Narcan, a medicine used to block the effect of opioids.
Seeing somebody not breathing, face blue, because of this, just the number of doses you administered is pretty horrifying.
But even more horrifying to these officers is the number of times this is happening now and who it's happening to.
We've found them in bedrooms. We found them in playgrounds. A friend of mine that I grew up with and played sports with, we got sent to an overdose around him. He was a great athlete, great kid, and it undiscriminated.
So we have a narcotics epidemic. We have a heroin epidemic.
Monty Bennett with the Evansville Police Department says, unfortunately, runs like this are becoming the norm more than the exception.
It just becomes routine, like you're like driving to work. Where I'm driving to work, I go the same way to work every day. Oh, I got an overdose run. I'm going to another overdose run, and the shock value is wearing off, and when the shock value wears off, that's a problem.
The problem, Ginnon says, is that opioids are so strong, so addictive, that once a person starts abusing them, the harder it is to stop. For some, that addiction starts with a simple painkiller prescription from a doctor. Oftentimes after minor surgery, sometimes after major surgery. And once those pills run out, for some people, they will then run out to find a new way to get that high.
My guess is we had most of these people already who were hooked on opioids, but they were in the painkiller pill form. And now that they're having a very difficult time getting that, they've turned to heroin.
And Ginnon says as long as there's a demand for heroin on the streets, there's going to be a supply for it. It's finding that supply that's challenging for police.
You start with your weed tips. You start with information from a person who is arrested, and then you try to work that up to where you can get to some people who are bringing in some bigger and larger sources.
And once those sources are found, Ginnon says the suppliers have to be severely punished. But until those sources are found and those suppliers are punished, Ginnon says this will continue to be a community-wide problem, and those calls for help will continue to come in here, the Evansville Vanderburgh County Dispatch Center.
So the more we can make the community aware, maybe the more we can catch the people that are selling stuff and, get rid of the problem.
All right, y'all. This is actually Evansville, Indiana. And I knew a few people from there years ago. that I used to work with were from Evansville. You know, I don't know what's up with this punish the dealer but let the user go. That is never going to work. And like I said, this addiction is going on 20 years. If it was going to work, you would have seen it by now. It's never going to work. It just simply is never going to work. But hey, this is what they call a public health issue. So let them deal with their problem. Please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. I would go over the article, but the article really just goes over exactly what the video just said. It's very similar. But I will leave the link to the article in the description box. Please leave your comment and subscribe, and by any means necessary, go ahead and click on that notification bell. That way you don't miss any of my videos. Peace, family.